be the person that bears that's the strength, the pillar of her family, and I appreciate that with her. So if she gets a chance to join us today, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. But anyway, let me set the table. Give you a little dialogue, or yeah, on what's going to happen. I'm going to set the table for today. Today, and I changed the format a little bit. I like to tell the audience what we are about to listen to, and hopefully, if they like that, then they will tune in and tell their friends. And folks, please tell your friends if you enjoy the show. So today we're going to talk about politics, and next week I got a request in from one of my listeners. They want to talk about, or they want us to talk about mental health. We haven't talked about that in a while. We want to talk about, and I'm going to tell you something. If you think that politics and religion don't cause a mental distress or stress, please don't fool yourself. I think, other than life experiences, things that struggles, life struggles, and stuff like that, I think that politicians and some of these preachers, uh, they cause a lot of stress in our lives, and I think they are the root cause of a lot of them. Because what do we depend on our politicians for? We depend on opportunities. We depend on job opportunities, educational opportunities, health opportunities, and so forth and so on. And a lot of times, we put people in office that promise one thing and they do another. Big money tends to whet their palate, and so they
And
forget about it.
we keep voting them back in again too. That's the other
I,
problem.
I, I couldn't agree more.
We see what they do. That we know they lied to us, and guess what? The what I call the sheeple just keep voting for the same people that are doing them ugly. And
You call them.
When William says he's going to set the table for today, the way William sets the table, it's with a broken beer bottle, three knives, and a fork.
That's right. You have to use what you have. You have to use what you have. Okay. I don't care.
Just kidding, right?
Well, that's all right. I don't care. I'm not kidding. But no, we do that. And, I'm not sure. And we just lost Ann again. But anyway, why don't we do this, Mike? Let's talk about the programming. Go on with that because I really want Ann in on this. You and I could go back and forth on this because with the topic today, we're going to talk about who's the best candidate and why, which one is more effective, who's most qualified, and who's mentally competent to hold the presidential office. Who's qualified to sit behind that historic and important monumental presidential seal? So we're gonna get into that a little bit. I'm waiting for Ann. Oh, there she is again. Okay, Ann. I'm not sure. Is it are you guys having bad storms or something that keeps kicking you out, or do you need to call Andre?
Oh, well, Andre's not here. He and the boys went
Ah,
to visit my mother-in-law, but no, my computer has, for whatever reason, decided that even plugged up constantly, it doesn't want to hold a charge. So
oh
it's
boy.
it's just time for new equipment, and
Right, right,
my
right.
husband's changing it out soon. So
I'm glad for
Make
that.
sure, hey, Ann, make sure you check your router too, because I know William just went through a problem with the router, and it solved all of his issues. So I have Andre look at the router along with the laptop.
oh, he bought a new router and everything, because
Oh,
he
okay,
works from
okay,
home a
good.
lot. So that's one of those things. I'm actually looking at this thing sitting up on high on a pile of boxes to get the best signal possible, as well as some other stuff scattered throughout the house to pick up the signal. So I don't understand it all, but I do recognize the word router.
It's okay. Hey, look, you have a lot of other great qualities, so don't worry about it.
Thank
Okay?
you. I
Yes, you do.
appreciate
No, I mean that. You know it, and you know I do. So anyway, I don't know what you heard. We're going to talk. We're going to start off with you, Ann.
that.
We're going
Okay.
to talk about who's the best candidate for the job of president and why, in your
And
opinion.
in my opinion, Kamala Harris is the only choice that we have for president of the United States, since President Biden decided that he will no longer seek a second term. Um, she has. basically had a phenomenal career. And I've been listening to the both sides argument from both Dr. Sims and Mike. And interestingly enough, I kind of like to know, where these things come from. And I found a very interesting thing that backs me up in terms of why I like Kamala Harris and believe that she is more than qualified to be the president of the United States. But I see where they get the argument that they felt like maybe her affair with this man kind of led to her career path. So it's I'm not going to read it all. It's an old article from Politico, which in my opinion is a more conservative publishing company for articles and whatnot. But they said 55 things you need to know about Kamala Harris, a trailblazing prosecutor turned politician who sits on the cusp of history. Now, this particular article was written back on August 11th, 2020. So this is a really old article. But it still tells you a whole lot about her. And so it's going to have arguments for me. And at the same time, it'll address some of the stuff that I think Mike has had issues about. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to read some of it to you.
Okay, break it down.
Says Kamala Harris has spent the better part of 2 decades in public life, notching up a long list of things she was the first to achieve. The first Black woman to be elected district attorney in California history, first woman to be California's attorney general, first Indian American senator, and now the first Black woman and first Asian American to be picked as a vice presidential running mate on a major party ticket. Like I said, old article, because now she's the first to be first Black woman, first Asian American to be picked as a presidential candidate on a major ticket. So, what do voters need to know about the woman who sits on the cusp of breaking one of the highest glass ceilings in American life? Well, the first thing they have is Kamala Devi Harris was born in Oakland, California. And I'm not going to say her birthday because there are people out there who will take that and run with it.
Mhm.
But in 1964, she's the eldest of 2 children born to Shaimala, I hope that's pronouncing it right, Gopalan, a cancer researcher from India, and Donald Harris, an economist from Jamaica. My number one reason why I like Kamala Harris, not only is she, you know, educationally qualified, does she have the experience, the knowledge, the expertise, the background, everything that's needed to be the president of the United States, but she is also the embodiment of what it means to be an American. She is the product of 2 parents who were immigrants who came to this country, whether they were looking for a better life, whether it was for work. She basically is what America stands for. And Donald Trump is the antithesis of that. So that's my first reason for liking her. Her parents met at UC Berkeley while pursuing graduate degrees and bonded over a shared passion for the civil rights movement, which was active on campus. After she was born, they took Kamala along to protest in a stroller. And that was number 2. We're going to skip to number 4. Her parents divorced when she was 7, and her mother raised her and her sister Maya on the top floor of a yellow duplex in Berkeley. Number 5, in first grade, Harris was bused to Thousand Oaks Elementary School, which was in its second year of integration. So then number 6, as a child, Harris went to both a Black Baptist church and a Hindu temple, embracing both her South Asian and Black identities. My mother understood very well that she was raising 2 Black daughters, Harris later wrote in her autobiography, and she was determined to make sure we were growing to confident, proud Black women. She only visited India as a child and was heavily influenced by her grandfather, a high ranking government official who fought for Indian independence, and her grandmother, an activist who traveled the countryside teaching impoverished women about birth control. Harris attended middle school and high school in Montreal, that's Canada, after her mom got a teaching job at McGill University and a position as a cancer researcher at a Jewish general hospital. In Montreal, she led a successful demonstration with her sister in front of her apartment building in protest of a policy that banned children from playing on the lawn. Love that about her, that this politics is in her, not just her blood, but it's basically part of her spirit. It's who she is. After high school, she attended Howard University, and this is number 10 on the list, the prestigious historically Black college in Washington, D.C. She majored in political science and economics and joined the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, which I am a part of. So she is basically educated in politics because she majored in political science. She studied law and she's a practicing attorney. So she knows a lot about how American government works because she's been trained to understand how government works versus Trump, who has absolutely no clue. 11. While attending law school in San Francisco, Harris lived with her sister Maya and helped potty train her niece. Number 12. In 1990, after passing the bar, she joined the Alameda County Prosecutor's Office in Oakland, California, as an assistant district attorney focusing on sex crimes. Number 14, in 1994, she began dating Willie Brown, and I think this addresses Mike's concerns. He was a powerhouse in California politics who was then the Speaker of the State Assembly and was 30 years older than Harris. From his perch in the Assembly, Brown appointed Harris to the California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, and I love this about her because I work.
Oh no. Oh no.
And wow. Hopefully she can catch up.
She'll get back to us. Don't worry.
I very hope so. She was Mike. I'm going to just let her continue, and at the end, we can critique each other's answers to the 4 questions that I have. What I like what Ann was saying, and you probably know this as well as I do. In California, and many not only in California, but in many places in this country, it is tough for a woman to get elected because that has been a field predominantly that's been predominantly male. Historically, it has been predominantly male throughout the years, right? So it's tough for a woman to get elected anyway. Another thing, for those who don't know, she's black. Based on what Ann just showed you, she told you, and Kamala tells a story about her mom and dad. And then, like Ann brought up last week, and this has been a standard that has been preached throughout American history. If you have one drop of black blood, you black. Okay. That's their standard. Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that whatever dominates your genes, okay. And who cares anyway? This is the problem with the country that I see. We put too much on the emphasis of race.
Oh my
Race.
God! Well, you and I actually agree on something.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. We agree
Race.
on that. It shouldn't be white Mike and black William. It should be we're an American, and that's it.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Totally. Mike, I'm shocked too. I think I might need to grab a beer or something. Mike is agreeing with me. Oh my goodness. No. Man, you know what? Because I'm gonna tell you something. No matter what our heritage is, whatever our background is, whatever our ethnicity is, I want you guys to wake up because that's the oldest trick in the book to divide us and conquer. Other countries don't do this the way we do it. Okay? If you're French, now think about this. If you're from France, they don't call you a black Frenchman. If you're a German, they don't call you a white German. Okay? Most other countries, I can't think of another country except for this one that does this, and they do it on purpose to divide us by race. And folks, I'm gonna tell you something. Then they use this as a platform. Well, you see, and so no, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, so you're a Black American. Yes, I'm Black, but I am an American. Yes, Mike is white. Mike is an American.
Amen.
I don't call Mike up and say, "Hey, how is my white American friend?"
If you did, I'd get on a plane and fly out to where you live.
You know what? And I
and
wouldn't blame. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. It's always been, folks, because you have hate-filled people, and their job, or they think their job, is to divide us, so they can conquer us. Because if they got uh, black people fighting white people, and white people fighting Mexican people, and everybody fighting the Jews, and this and that and the other, guess what? We don't get a chance to see what those billionaires are doing, do we? Okay,
it's
we
like
take an eye off the
bait
ball.
and switch.
Bait. That's exactly
Bait and
right.
switch.
Exactly right. So, Mike, based on like I said, then what I really like when Ann, I hope she comes back to finish what she was about to say. Her parents were educators. They were educators, and educators, if you notice, educators tend to rear or bring up highly intelligent, educated people. Because guess what? As an educator, Mike, and the audience out there, I'm a teacher. Do you think that I'm gonna let my child slough off their homework or not get their work done when I know what the challenges are? If I'm a teacher and there's no way in the world I'm gonna have a lazy child on their iPad or on TikTok or whatever it is, not doing their homework. Okay, something else, and then she was trained for politics. Anything you want to comment on what Ann was saying so far before she was cut off?
Gosh, I hope she gets back in because I do want to answer in front of her.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
but let's take what's the last thing you said about she's trained in politics?
She was trained
That
in politics. Now, and it bring up something about her dating with Willie Brown. Okay, maybe she did.
that's not important.
It's really not important.
I'll tell you what. Let's take Willie Brown first because Ann's not here. I think I can cover this and cover it quickly. I don't care if she had an affair. It just shows to her character that she was willing to do something like that in order to ladder climb. She and oh gosh, I have to go back. No, I'm not going to go back because I'm going to slam Trump the same way in just a minute. But I really hope Ann gets back in. She took advantage, and she took advantage of her friendship relationship with Willie Brown, and he helped fast track her. He assigned her to two positions that she wasn't qualified for, that were huge money positions that should have been reserved, as I understand it, should have been reserved for other people that were Willie Brown's in his sphere of influence. And because he was seeing her and having that affair with her, he fast tracked her into those high paying positions that she was not qualified for. And going back to her political views, the fact that she was indoctrinated, not trained, but not indoctrinated by these colleges that teach only one side and all go far left. And it just shows to what her, again, going back to her character, that's not serving the people of the United States. If she's only educated in one point of view, that's ridiculous. She was been fast tracked her entire life, and I'm going to stay away from those three letters that you and I talk about that are offensive to people because I do not wish to offend anyone. William, Ann, Dr. Sims, Dr. Demery, Danny Teasdale. I don't want to offend anybody or anyone else that happens to be listening by using that term because I understand in many people's minds it's an extremely ugly term. So I'm going to steer away from that. But she was selected because of her race, her gender, her ethnicity, and she was fast tracked because of those things. And that is wrong. We deserve better here in America. We have wonderful people that are Americans. And I don't care, once again, William, you and I do agree on this. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what kind of genitalia you got. I care what's between your friggin' ears and whether you can do the job and whether you can properly serve, or you're just another puppet up there that's looking to keep their job in politics or advance their job in politics. And that's what she's done her entire life. She has stair step, stair step, stair step. And here's the more important stuff. It's not about her being having an affair with Willie Brown. That is so tiny and so, and I wish Ann was here to hear me say this, but that is so minuscule. I don't care. What I do care about is what she's accomplished while she's been a vice president. She's accomplished next to nothing. She was the border czar, and that now they're trying to say, oh no, she wasn't the border czar. Well, you know what? Go back and play the tapes. She was appointed border czar. She did nothing. I think she's been to the border one time, and that was in a very orchestrated situation where everything was all cleaned up and there's nothing to see here, folks. Move along. So her inability to accomplish her job and to do what she was tasked with doing, and that was an important job. That was huge. If she would have taken that and ran with it correctly and sealed the border and created an atmosphere where at least we feel as Americans, we do have borders. We got an open border to the south. It's ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for 3.5 years. If Biden and Harris, when they came into office, if they changed absolutely nothing about Trump's policies with regard to the border, the stay in Mexico, everything else that he had in place, instead of this millions of people coming across the border. Their first year in office, millions came across. The next year, they broke another record. More millions came across. The third year they were in office, more people came across. So I'm going back to her record of what she can do, what she did for America, and I don't care how much college you tell me she had, especially with colleges today here in California and such. That's ridiculous, because I know a lot of people that went to college that are total and complete morons. They can't put air in their tires. They can't check their oil in their car. They can't have a checkbook. This is my sister, by the way. She can't have a checkbook because she believes if there's checks in the checkbook, there must be money in the account. This girl has 6 or 7 years of college, reads and writes music, speaks 3 languages, and has, like I said, almost 7 years of college. She says, sorry, Sister Ann, but, well, my sister happens to be an Ann also. But I mean, she's as dumb as a box of rocks. She can't have a credit card because she doesn't understand what she spends on the credit card. She's going to have to pay that back, and maybe with some interest. So, you know, the whole college thing. Oh, you can give me the lineage of, oh, she went to this school and she went to that school and she went to this college. You know, that to me means absolutely nothing, because these colleges, they keep people to wave just like everyone else because of those 3 letters that you don't want me to say, and I'm not going to say them. So that's me starting off, and I'm sorry Ann's not here to hear it. I
am also, and I'm glad you put that up. A couple of things I'm gonna push back on. Okay. And I'm gonna repeat this. And I can prove this. She was not the border czar. That's a fact.
Yes, she was.
No, hold on, Mike. I didn't interrupt, did I, brother? Okay. Did not interrupt. This is where we're gonna do this. She was not, I repeat, not the border czar. What her job was to go down to the northern triangle. It was Mexico, oh my God, Venezuela, Guatemala. I forgot what it. Her job was to go there and propose a plan to keep people from coming across the border. She was not the border czar. She was not in charge of going down to the border and stopping things there. Okay? Now, she was not the border czar. I'm going to say it again. She was not the border czar. That is well documented. That is a lie that the right put out there. Mike, you can shake your head. I tell you what, fact check me. You can fact check me. Go to Google and fact check me while I'm talking, right? She was not the border czar. Now, what this is a right-wing talking point to make her look bad, saying that she did not do what she was supposed to do on the border. She was not the border czar. You know who the border czar was? Mayorkas. If you don't blame anybody for that, it's Mayorkas. He is in charge of Homeland Security. He's in charge of the border. So I wish people would stop saying she was a border czar. That is false. That is absolutely false. Now, you can shake your head. Mike, go in and fact check me. I know what I'm talking about.
I've already heard the tape.
No, you haven't. She is not the border czar. Okay. Let's put that to bed. Okay. Number two, if you won't blame anybody for the border being open, which is not open, Biden had to use an executive authority to curtail people crossing the border. And I'm going to tell you why. He had to use executive authority. Okay. And the border crossings has dropped by 50% since he did that. Do you know why someone on the right will say the open border is a... Guess who you have to blame for this? Some of you guys' favorite candidate, that is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the reason why we do not have a comprehensive border policy. And fact check me, okay? I'm not going to just shoot out of my butt, okay? Fact check me. There was a bipartisan bill put on the table, bipartisan, which is rare in Congress because we know this is the laziest, good-for-nothing Congress, okay, 118th Congress in history. They get nothing done. So you have to understand there are three branches of the government. You got the president, you got the Congress, and you got the Senate. The president can propose anything he wants. If Congress and Senate does not approve it, guess what, folks? It doesn't happen. Stop blaming Biden. Stop blaming Harris on that. It was put on the House floor. The Senate passed it. Matter of fact, it was created in the Senate, okay, by Republicans and Democrats. They said it was the most comprehensive bill ever. When it got to the House, the Republicans shot it down because they have the authority. They had the authority to shoot it down. That is also a fact. They shot it down. You know why? Because Donald Trump told them not to. You better not do this because I'm going to ruin your career if you do. And you know, this guy, he has a lot of power still, okay? And he's ruined a lot of Republicans' political careers. He has done that. Donald Trump, I'm going to repeat it again in case you guys need to adjust your hearing aids. Congress, the Senate passed it, okay? It was bipartisan, okay? It went to the House. And that no good, Mike Johnson, that the weakest speaker in the House, you know, him and his son, they got a pornography monitoring account. You know, this so-called religious guy that's about God and stuff like that. He and his son he said it, a pornographic account where they can monitor each other's porn. How weird are these people? So I'm gonna say it one more time. She was not the border czar. We had a comprehensive bill on the table, which have drastically improved. As a matter of fact, the people that's in charge of the border, okay, they wanted that bill. They wanted that bill. Donald Trump shut it down. Shut it down. So you guys gonna talk to me about her and the border? You can shove it. Shove it anywhere you want because that's a lie. That is a complete lie. And I don't want to hear about that anymore. They shut it down. The Republicans shut it down. Yet, the border. Shut the hell up. Until you plan on doing something about it, you have nothing to say. You try to put a dog in this fight, but you put a dead dog in the fight because it was dead on arrival because you killed the doggone dog. Don't come to me with this mess. Do not come with me. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. So Republicans killed him, Mike. If you want to blame anybody, you go to the Republicans and you tell them, why did you guys kill the bill? Donald Trump told us to. Donald Trump. So I don't want to hear about that anymore. And I do not agree with you because, number one, Her first school, Kamala's first school, was not in California. It was not in California. It was an HBCU. She went to Howard University, right up about 2 hours from me. Howard University. That's her first school. That's her first college. She came back to California and she went to law school in California. Okay. Now, and guess what? She also at Howard University graduated at the top of her class. At the very top. Look it up. And as far as Willie Brown is concerned, Willie Brown, he appointed her to certain things, but guess what? She was elected. Okay, she became a prosecutor. She was elected to be a district attorney. She was elected to be attorney general. She was elected to be vice president. So don't tell me Willie Brown may have helped her. And if they dated, so what? But I don't think that she used it. The way you framed that was, yeah, she used Willie Brown so she could get ahead. Hell no. He probably put her there, and I'm going to surmise that he put her there because she was qualified to do the job. She was qualified. She has proven herself every inch of the way. Because I don't care what somebody does, Mike, and the audience. If somebody puts you in a position, then you have to work. Okay? Well, what does she do as a VP? You don't know what the VP does because now I'm going to tell you what's really prejudice about this. Nobody called out Dick Cheney. Nobody called out any of those white, and I'm going to say this, those white VPs. Okay. Nobody ever called him out. What is the vice president doing? The vice president is always behind the scenes. Okay. She's been out there on the campaign, well, before even campaigning, fighting for women's reproductive rights. She's been doing it for years. She's been out there fighting. Okay. She's been out there fighting for education. She's been on a picket line. The president from the United Auto Workers said Kamala Harris came out and stood on a picket line with them. Huh? Went down to the Northern Triangle to try to broker a deal so they can have more economic advantages so that these people would not to try to curtail as much as she could border crossings. Don't tell me that she got in there because somebody appointed her to do something. That is ludicrous. And she did the job. She does the job. You never know what the vice president is doing because most what did Pence do? I mean, Pence. What in the hell did he do? What in the hell and to this day, I just named off a bunch of stuff she did. To this day, you cannot name me one thing that Mike Pence did. Not one thing. Okay? Not one thing. Except for kiss Donald Trump's butt. Every time he got to speak, yeah, under your leadership, Mr. Trump, under your leadership, we did this and that and the other. Baloney. And he only woke up and smelled the roses when Trump almost had him killed. And guess what? The same vice president has said a few weeks back that he couldn't, in his right mind, he could not endorse the president that he served under. How much does that tell you, Mike? 40 of his top cabinet members and people that were around him refused to endorse him. Refused. Some are voting Democrat. Why is that, Mike? They are a lot closer than you and I will ever be to that guy. Okay. Whatever you want to say, Mike, go on.
Okay. The bill that you were talking about the border bill was absolute garbage. And you know it. There was a lot of pork.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't.
Hold on. Hey, hang on.
No, I don't.
Day one of Biden and Harris's presidency and vice presidency, they stripped the parameters that Trump had in place. Now, again, I have to premise this by saying I am not a Trump fan. Okay, that's very important that all of you understand. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Harris fan. I'm not a Biden fan at all. But day one, he stripped the stay in Mexico plan that was already in place and a lot of the other parameters that were keeping the border at least under some kind of control. He stripped America of those border patrol protections. And what did he do for the next 3.5 years? Nothing. What did Harris do for the next 3.5 years? Nothing. Until this border bill came up, which didn't need to even happen. If he needed that border bill so badly, why did he produce that executive order that put, as you said, 50% reduction? Why didn't he do that on day one when he took away all the protections that Trump in place?
Is that a question? Well, is that a question? How do we know? Okay, well, I'll wait to answer. I'll wait.
If he strips those border patrol protections that Trump had in place and does nothing for 3.5 years, what does that tell you about him and Harris? About what their parameters were, what was really important? He could have in day one stripped away Trump's parameters and put his own in place. Did he do that? It's a rhetorical question. Don't need to answer. Did he do it? No, he didn't. He waited 3.5 years until he got so much heat, he and Harris, for her being the border czar, and it's on tape. In fact, it's on Nightline. Even the guy, I forget his name, but it was interviewing her, and he point blank said, "Have you been to the border?" And she couldn't answer. And then he said, "Well, have you been to the border?" She says, "No, but I haven't been to Europe either." Really? That's your answer? You haven't, as the border czar, you haven't been to the border and you haven't been to Europe either. Please give me a break. And when she does go to the border, she goes to this very sanitized area that's not a hotbed of what's going on. What does she get to see? Nothing that's in the realm of reality. She got a sanitized version, and that was it. As far as her college degrees and such, I don't care if she went to California for her degrees or the other college that you mentioned. It doesn't matter. So many of these colleges are so far left wing. They indoctrinate people into their way of believing. So I don't give a hoot about where she went to college, because that college is, if I look it up, is probably extremely left wing, like so many of the colleges today. As far as being elected, the fact that she had her name put out, starting with Willie Brown, not that he's responsible for all of it, but because he got her into those slots, those really well-paying political spots that she had name recognition. So they go, "Oh yeah, she's a lady of color. She's beautiful. Let's fast track her because that's what we want." So as far as her being elected, that's garbage as well. Her staff, she's been in office for a little over 3.5 years. Almost 100% of her staff has left her. Almost 100%. 92% have left her because she's so horrible to work for. Now, if she can't keep her office happy, how the hell do you think she's going to keep America happy? Let's see. And the other problem I have with Kamala, you're telling me how wonderful she is and how brilliant she is.
Kamala, it's Kamala.
Tomato, you pick one. I don't care. I'm saying her name not to be offensive. I'm not picking one version over the other.
It's only one version. It's Kamala.
Well, I've heard two versions, and you have two.
It's one. So it's Kamala.
Don't split hairs. Don't split.
I'm not splitting hairs.
Okay.
How about Miss? Your name isn't Mickey. Your name isn't Mickey. Your name is Mike.
How about Miss Harris? I'll call her Miss Harris.
That's better.
That way we eliminate that BS.
Thank you.
She has enabled Biden to continue to be propped up and pretend to be the president of the United States. He is not. He has been for a long time. He's always been a puppet. And he's been enabled by all the people around him, where this president has not been running this United States for a very long time. Really? The guy's incompetent mentally, physically, and these people, along with Miss Harris, have enabled him to deceive the American government. So now we're back to liars, cheats, thieves, and whores. And that's my perception of not only Miss Harris and Biden, but that's my perception of Trump as well.
Well, good. Okay, great. Mike, uh, most of what you said, in my opinion, is hogwash. Again, you can't. Now, I understand this country is loaded with a bunch of educated idiots,
Thank you.
educated buffoons.
Thank you.
You have a lot of people out here that go to college that, like you said, can't even open a can of soup. I agree with that. Can't change a tire. Can't change a light bulb. That's right. But she's not one of them. Again, you don't graduate from the top of your class in any college unless you've got something going on. Well, Willie Brown appointed her to this. So what? That does not get you elected in California for anything. That doesn't do it.
Yes, it did.
Come on. No, it does not, Mike. It does not. Okay, she did it. Oh, yep. Okay, they may have dated. And I'm going to say may have because you and I had this conversation off air.
Oh, you're killing me, William.
Well, good. Take an aspirin.
They weren't playing tiddlywinks, and
Well, you don't know what they were doing, Mike. You were not in their bedroom. You do not know. How in the hell you know?
The simplest answer
It's
to a
not
given
simple.
question is
Right.
usually the most correct.
Mike, no, bull. You almost made me say bull less. But anyway, okay. Okay. Mike, that's bull. You and I had this conversation off air. People say, oh, she dated Willie Brown for a year. Some article says she dated for 10 years. Okay. I don't care. And Willie Brown, Dr. Dimmer told you 3 weeks ago, Willie Brown is a gay man. I heard about that some 20 odd years ago that Willie Brown was gay. Okay. Now, fact.
You heard.
You have a lot. Hold on. Let me
So I'll
finish.
throw it back on you. How do you know, William? How do you know? Were you there?
I wasn't there.
The
No,
same
I was
argument
not.
Applies to you.
And
I wasn't there,
and
you weren't
you
there.
weren't,
You don't know.
either.
No.
You don't either. Because again, just like you, I was not in their bedroom. Okay. Now, you and I did have this conversation. You and I don't want to be either. And you and I, there's some people out here, perhaps some people listeners just say, yeah, I want to be there. I want to watch. But anyway, what I'm saying to you is and you and I had this conversation. And I want the rest of the audience to listen to me, especially the women. How many women out there have friends, male friends, that are gay? There are tons. Okay. What do you do with your gay? I don't know how many. I'm not putting a number on it, but there are a lot. There are a lot. Okay. I have relatives that have gay friends. And you know what they do together, Mike? They'll go to concerts together. They'll go to restaurants together. They'll go to theater together. They go places and they hold hands. It's their friend. Okay? They're not sleeping with one another. So yeah, they could have dated, and there's nothing wrong with a gay man and a straight woman having a date. That doesn't mean they're having sex. We can speculate all we want. Mike, we can speculate all we want. We don't know. Unless we saw them in the act. We don't know. Are there any photographs of them kissing in public? Are there any photographs of them? Because guess what? You know how the paparazzi is. If you are a public figure, they follow you and they film everything. Are there any photos of them being intimate in public together? We don't know that. And that's beside the point anyway. I really don't care. But you can't say that Willie Brown is responsible for her being where she is, because that's absolutely not true. Willie Brown didn't get her elected, Mike. She was elected 3 times in California. He did not get her. You need to take probably an Excedrin. He did not get her elected. He did not get her elected. He may have appointed her to some positions in California, which is okay, because say you my buddy, and this has nothing to do with relationship. Even though we have a friendship, you're my buddy, and we hang out together. We have drink together. We'll have dinner and stuff like that. And because I may have a little prominence or whatever it is, and there's some positions open that I know more than anybody else you are qualified for. Then I said, hey, let's look at Mike. Let's look at Mike. Not because he's my friend, because I have some friends that aren't that smart, but they're still my friends, right? So I'm not going to because I'm not going, but I'm not going to recommend them to a position that of responsibility because they may not be that responsible, but they're really good people. They just, maybe have a little something going on. I don't know what it is, but you're my friend. There's a position right there. I say, hey, Mike, man, you're more qualified. You're the most qualified person I know to do that. I'm going to endorse you.
Can I support what you just said? No, I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to
No,
support.
go on, please, go on.
So let's say you are running for let's say you become the president of the United States, William.
Okay.
In all honesty, you and me both, if we're honest, who are you going to surround yourself with? You're going to surround yourself with people that you know and trust and believe that can do the job. So I'm supporting what you're just saying. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. And that's exactly right. So let's get this straight. He did not. Even though he put her or helped her get positioned so she could do this thing, she still had to do the work. She had to go on a campaign. I saw her. I was first impressed with her when she was running for attorney general. She came to my church, and I was in the choir stand, and I was so impressed with her. And we had the radio station going on then. As a matter of fact, I had the Boomerang going on, but at that time it was just me, Dr. Demery, and Ann, right? And I tried to get after the service was over. I tried my best to get out of that choir robe and to get down to see her. I had to go in the choir room, take it off. By the time I got down, she was gone because I was going to invite her on the show. I was that impressed with her. If she stood in front of me and sounded like a buffoon, I wouldn't have wanted her on this program. I didn't know her.
Good for you. Good for you.
I know I didn't know her. My first introduction about her was when she came to my church. And this was when she was running. She was running for. Oh, she was running for the Senate. I'm sorry. She was running for the Senate. I didn't know her before that, but I liked her style. I liked the way she spoke. I liked what she said. Okay, so no, I have no problem with that. But like I said, she had to be qualified to get what she is. And those people out there say she's not qualified. Come on, man. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Number one. Okay, like I said again, I'm gonna be redundant. Graduated top of her class in Howard University. Went back to law school. I believe it was a branch of Berkeley. Now you guys already know that Berkeley is one of the most top-rated schools in the country. Okay, and she went to law school. First time she did not pass the bar exam, and you got some Republicans are, oh, she didn't pass the bar. She didn't pass. Shut up. You couldn't pass a bar of soap. The bar exam is the toughest. I'm going to see the hardest exam to take in America, if not the world. Folks, I know. Next, I understand, is the Series 7 exam. That's what I took and became a licensed broker. Okay? A licensed broker. They tell me that's the second hardest exam to take. And the good Lord, it is so hard, it's painful. I never, ever, ever want to take that exam again in life. It is tough. The bar exam is even tougher. It's longer and it's tougher. So she didn't pass it the first time, but she passed it the second time. You know what that tells me? She has resilience. She has resilience. Okay. And people on the right, they're going to throw out anything that they think that will harm this woman on a personal level. All right. And getting to the board of Mike again, she was not the border czar. Somebody asked her when you last ever be the border. She said, well, she had never been to some other place. Who cares? She was not the border czar. She was in charge of cultivating and also doing a cohesive thing to bring down in the Northern Triangle. That's not the border. I'm gonna tell you again, in case you guys need to adjust your microphone. I mean your hearing aid. And if you can't hear what I'm saying, put some batteries in it. Okay, she was not the border czar. I'm not gonna keep on saying it, and I don't want to hear it again because now you are not sounding that smart. If I'm telling you, and you can prove that she's not, and you gonna keep on repeating that, don't do that, please, please.
She was the border czar. She was the border czar.
She was not the border czar.
She was the border. There we go. I said a whole bunch.
Mike, take your medication.
Hate me all you want.
I'm not gonna hate you. Never gonna hate you. But you see, you doing this to antagonize, and it's not working. She was not the border czar. Okay.
You're in denial.
Well, Mike, she was not the border czar. Okay,
Yes,
I'm gonna leave that alone because then I want you to come and next. So we're still on the next question. We're still on the first question.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, let me go back to Berkeley real quick. Berkeley's one of the furthest left colleges that ever existed in the United States.
Come on.
And you know it. They are so
No, I
far
don't.
left wing.
No, I do not.
They won't even let right wing speakers come on their campus. They are so left wing. How's that
You
for
know
an
what?
open dialogue?
Yeah, you know why? Because those right-wing speakers are radicals and they're stupid. I wouldn't let anybody dumb on my college campus either. Right-wing, you know what they're. Oh, no. Hell no. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I don't know whether that's true or not, Mike. Okay, if you were sensible right-wing, they would probably let you on, but they're not gonna let a lunatic on. I wouldn't either. And just like this one school,
free speech doesn't mean anything to you. Free speech, you don't care about free speech.
No, not if you preach, not if you speak in hatred. Not if you speak in hatred. Mate, there's a college that I forgot what school it was, and rightfully so they just got taken through the ringer. That Kyle Rittenhouse was allowed to come on their campus and talk about guns. Kyle Rittenhouse, the murderer.
Kyle he defended himself. He didn't murder anybody. He defended himself.
Defended himself? Are you kidding me? He did not.
Attacked.
Mike,
he was attacked with a chain from one guy and a skateboard from another guy. He
killed
himself.
He's
far from being a murderer.
He killed two people. And what is the 17-year-old defending himself? Number one, he should have been charged with taking a gun across state lines. He was 17 years old. What in the hell is he doing there?
He didn't take the gun across state lines. It was already in the state. No, he didn't carry it from his state to the other state.
He did.
And picked it up from his friend's house.
Oh, really?
He stored the weapon.
What in the hell? Still, what in the hell is a 17? What is he doing there in the first place? What is he doing there? He had no business.
Up for what he believed in.
Mike, he standing up for what?
He thought what was going on was garbage, and so he did what he thought was.
Man, the guy, he's a 7.
Hang on, William. Did he make a smart decision? In my mind, no. He did something really stupid. But did he deserve to die because he went to do something that he believed in? He didn't deserve to die, and so he ended up protecting himself. He
didn't die. He's still alive. But the two people that he
protected himself.
Protect himself from what? He needed to keep his ass
from people that
at home.
To kill him.
Like he shouldn't have been there.
There was two people that wanted to kill him.
He should not have been there. He's a 17-year-old uneducated.
I agree with that part.
Uneducated punk. He shouldn't have been there.
You don't know that. Have you met?
No, I do know that.
You don't know
he shouldn't have been there.
Or not.
He should not have been. As a matter of fact, is a 17-year-old allowed to use an assault weapon? I don't think so. I think that you have to be.
There's no such thing as a civilian assault weapon. We've had this argument before. And if he did something, if he did something so wrong, why isn't he in prison?
Because
why isn't he in jail?
Because that punk jury let him off. That punk biased jury let him off. He had no because you got on. He cried like a wimp.
Both people are all wrong, and you're right.
Yes, exactly right.
Okay,
that's exactly
I bow
right.
to Lord William.
Yep. You can call me Lord. You can call me King. I don't care. Okay. He had no business being there, Mike. He was 17 years old. He was illegally carrying that weapon. At 17 years old, hold it. You know this better than I do. At the age of 17, you have no business operating a weapon like that out in public. You know that, and I know it.
It's a rifle. It's not a weapon
I
of
don't care.
mass
He was
destruction.
17 years. He was
Hang
17 years
on.
old, Mike.
It's not a military weapon. It's never
Oh,
been
are
used
you
by the
serious?
military. It's a single shot. It's a
Yeah.
single shot rifle
Yeah.
that fires
Potato-
one bullet when you pull it. It's not a machine gun. It's not an
Who
assault weapon.
cares?
There's no such thing as a civilian assault weapon. That's crap.
It is.
All
It is.
cosmetic.
It is. It is.
It's a very small rifle round.
Let's get back to the fact.
It's a very small rifle round, and you know
Mike,
that I know weapons.
No, I don't know.
Very small rifle round.
I
Very
don't know,
small.
and you don't know what I know, Mike. He's 17 years old. He crossed state lines. He committed a crime, and you tell you tell this garbage that you spewing right now to the families
Why
of
is
those
he in
people
jail?
that are dead. You tell that to the people
Why is
that
he
are
in jail?
dead, Mike.
Why isn't he in
Because guess what? You know why he's not in jail? Because he got sympathy. Because he got.
What you're saying is untrue.
I'm saying absolutely true. You know how? Because sometimes the jurors get it wrong, and sometimes they do it on purpose. They felt sorry for this little punk, this little punk, sniveling, crying wimp when he was on stand. He got on the stand, and he's crying like a damn baby. He couldn't even get it together. Upset. Well, he should have been. Guess what? He should have been upset.
They're trying to put him in prison for just defending
But
himself.
guess what? He should be in prison.
I'm 68 years old. I'd be crying too if somebody was trying to put me in
Well,
prison
guess what?
because I defended
You know
myself.
what, Mike,
you too.
I think you had more sense at the age of 17 not to cross state lines and commit murder.
Well, I
The
don't
man
know.
killed
You
people.
didn't know me when I was 17. I did a lot of
Oh,
stupid
Lord.
stuff.
Well, I guarantee you it wasn't that stupid. Mike, you can defend this guy all you want. He's a punk, and guess what? His life has been ruined. As a matter of fact, MAGA jumped on him earlier this week because he said that he wasn't endorsing Trump. He was endorsing. He was endorsing Kennedy, and MAGA jumped all on him. And what did he do? Folded like a cheap suit and went back to MAGA. This guy, he is stupid.
People gave him the information that was correct, and he went, "Oh, wait a second."
No, that's
And he
not it.
changed his mind.
No,
He
that
changed
wasn't
his
it.
mind because he was given better information.
No, hey, Mike,
understand it.
Mike, you have an excuse for everything. That's your understanding. My understanding is they put so much pressure
I live
on
in
it.
the real world.
Well, I'm being real with you. They
living
put
in
so
the
much
real
pressure
world.
on it. I'm in the real world. I don't know where you are. You out there in La La Land somewhere. And I'm gonna tell you, he changed his mind.
Over the rainbow.
Yes, right. He changed his mind because MAGA, and you know how those guys are. You know how they are. I know how they are. They will threaten you. They would even threaten your life if you go against them. They put so much pressure on him. They put so much pressure on him. He didn't wake up one morning and say, "Oh, you know what? I made a mistake." No. It is reported that MAGA, he got a few phone calls. Hey, Kyle, you like your house? How's your family? Okay. And he changed it. You know how they operate. You know how they operate. I know how they operate. They put that fool, number one, again, that punk should never have crossed state lines. Period. What he had to you read now. You don't know.
Take it one at a time. Can you cross the state line? Are you allowed to go from state to state?
Yeah, but not with
just go with.
Of course I can. And guess what?
Can you move from Virginia to another state? Can you
of
drive
course
across the
I
state?
can. I've done that before.
Well, so could he. He's a U.S. citizen.
No, he
can
couldn't.
move from state to state.
He was illegally carrying. Did he have permit to carry that weapon? No,
he didn't need one.
He did not.
Did not.
He did not have
and the weapon was already in the state where it
Who
happened.
cares, Mike? Where it was? I don't care. I don't care if it was a jack in the box.
You're saying something wrong. You're saying he transferred
I'm not.
the weapon
He had no
from
business
state
with
to state.
Mike, he had no business with
it. Was already in that state.
At the age of 17, was he allowed to operate that out in public?
Yes.
No.
Otherwise, he'd be in jail. And where is he?
He should be in jail. He was locked up.
Why isn't he?
Well, guess what? Because they had
according to you, he illegally transferred
because
a weapon across state lines. You're telling me it was illegal. Well, then why isn't he in jail?
Because
If
he
it
had a
was
far
clear
right.
that he did that, why isn't he in jail?
That is not true, Mike. He had a far right jury. Sometimes you get the luck of the draw, and you get a far or because
All
remember,
12 people.
remember,
All
yeah,
12.
all 12 of them.
Isn't that
Yes.
convenient?
Well, it happens. It happens. He look at what state is he from? What state is he from?
I don't remember.
Okay,
But
he's
he did
from.
nothing illegal, or he would
Yes,
be
he
in jail.
did. He was 17
He
years
was
old, Mike.
completely exonerated. His age didn't,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
his age
yep,
does
yep,
matter.
yep. Are you trying to tell? Okay, let me ask you a question. Did the jury in the OJ case get it wrong?
Motive,
Yes,
opportunity.
yes, they did.
Yes,
Yes,
they got
they
it wrong.
did.
They did.
Yes, they got it wrong. And so did this one. It happens, Mike. Come on, brother. Come on. I agree. I agree.
The standard
And
for
the
OJ
jury,
is way
no,
different
the
than
jury
Rittenhouse.
in the OJ case got it completely wrong. I just knew that he was going to prison. He had a smart lawyer. He had Johnny Cochran, one of the best in the business, one of the best defense lawyers ever. Clever.
Yep.
And he put enough doubt in the jury's mind. Hey,
Yep.
Hey, you must acquit. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Oh, and sometimes those little taglines like that will stick with people. If
Yeah,
the glove
talking
and guess what? And I'm gonna tell you something else. I wasn't a science major. I'm not a scientist. But I'm gonna tell you, you got a brand new glove. Okay. Now, that glove is all of a sudden soaked with blood. Okay. Psychologically and also with physics tells me that that glove is going to shrink. OJ had big hands. Okay. He's trying to put it on and shows it to the world. It doesn't fit. No, because it was soaked with blood.
And he was trying to put it over a nitro glove or a Lex. He was trying to pull it over a plastic glove also.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, that was clever. But the jury got it wrong. And I'm saying to you, and I'm going to submit to you, my friend, the jury got it wrong with Kyle Rittenhouse. Number one, that punk never should have been there. What in the hell does he know about politics? He's going to fight for what? No, he just want to go over there and show off. And now he's got it conveniently. He picked up a gun from the friend's house. I don't care whether he bought it over the line or he picked it up from a friend's house. He had no business with the damn gun. Come on now. What 17-year-old person out here, male or female, I don't care, should be operating guns in the first place?
Can I agree with you for a minute? I'd like to agree with what you just said.
You can.
Okay. A 17-year-old does not have the wherewithal to make really good decisions. I know when I was 17, all the stupid stuff I did. And William, you remember when you were 16, 17, 18.
Oh Lord, don't make me remember.
Okay,
I did some dumb stuff.
Let's be fair. So he had no business being there. I think at some point later on, he admitted that was a dumb thing for him to do. So we've all done dumb stuff. So I agree with you. He should not have been there. That was a bad decision. But there's the difference between him and OJ. OJ was a thing where they didn't have concrete evidence, so they applied the doubt, the reasonable doubt is what Cochran did. Reasonable doubt. Now, if Rittenhouse had physically moved his weapon from one state illegally into another state, that's pretty concrete. That's not just something that's up to speculation. And if he had murdered, in your words, killed, murdered, whatever, these two people that were trying to kill him, and he'd done it not out of self-defense, that's pretty concrete. He was there. There's videotape of the whole thing. There's no videotape of Nicole Brown being killed or Ronald Goldman being killed. So now you have videotaped evidence, clear-cut yes and no answers versus OJ, which is all muddy. No videotape. They're not sure. The glove doesn't fit. You must acquit. The Bruno, whatever the shoes he was wearing were exactly his size and all
Bruno
that.
Mali.
So
yeah,
is that what it was? So they could induce enough. What is it that they could induce enough that it was maybe he wasn't there. reasonable doubt. They induce reasonable doubt. With Rittenhouse, how do you induce reasonable doubt when you have videotape of the whole damn thing? If he did something wrong, and as outraged as half the United States was about that, he'd be in jail or prison. But no, he's not, is he?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you have so many people out here that get off on crimes, and you can have all of the evidence that you want, but I'm gonna tell you something. It depends on a couple of things. You got that judge, you got that jury, and you got a lawyer. And there are a bunch of. I'm trying to think of this high-powered attorney that was also on OJ's team. Oh my God, what was that? Kardashian's.
Yeah,
Uh,
Robert Kardashian.
oh yeah, and you got Johnny Cochran, and these cats were known for being outstanding lawyers. Okay, and that's why it's so important, folks, to get yourself a good lawyer. You got some lawyers that will keep you out of prison, and you got some lawyers that will, and your lawyer you paying for will put you in there because they done something stupid. Okay, so and I just knew because I followed that OJ trial every day. I said, "Oh man, he's going down." I'm gonna tell you what. I know that most of that evidence was circumstantial because they couldn't prove he was there. Okay, you mentioned something about the shoes. Okay, they had shoe prints there. Okay, uh, they knew that he would come by her house every now and then to stalk her. Okay. Also, that night, the same night she was murdered. Oh, ironically, he leaves town, jumps on an airplane, leaves town. Is that illegal? Was it a coincidence? My opinion, I don't think so, but that can't be proven in court. You don't know what. See, there's so much that's up in the air, speculations or whatever it is. And if you got a smart lawyer, you can put doubt in that jury's head. Now, also, there was a cut mark on his finger. He claimed that he broke a wine glass or some kind of glass on a sink and it cut his finger with that. Okay, you got the glove, and you got all, but like you said, Mike, all of this was circumstantial evidence. But I'm gonna tell you something: if he had not paid for those high priced lawyers and got someone who was weaker, okay, uh, he would have gone to jail. But because he had these lawyers and they had such a stellar reputation for defending their clients and getting them off, that's why he hired them in the first place. He did not play around with the lawyers. Okay. But I still, even though the man is dead right now, I still believe that he was guilty. I believe that. I believe it. I believed it then, and I believe it now. But who's going to prove it? So what I'm saying to you, um, it is a Rittenhouse. I think he should be in jail. But there's a lot of things. I think he probably had some of the best lawyers because look at the amount of money that was raised for him when he got arrested. I think something about there were over $2 million that was raised for him. So now he had the money to hire himself good lawyers. Okay, he had the money to hire. Okay, you had some right wing watch group that funded this thing for him. So that was no issue. Okay, so he got good. I tell you what, with lesser lawyers and an unbiased jury, he'd be in jail right now, and in my opinion, rightfully so. Rightfully so. That's my opinion. But anyway, we got to move on. We've got. Oh, I can't believe this. We only have 38 minutes left to go in the show. But let's go back. We're still on the first question.
Where's Ann when we need her? Where's Ann when we need her?
Okay, no, Ann's not going to bail you out this time. Okay, your question: Who's the best candidate? Who's the best candidate for, in your opinion, and why?
Oh, you're not going to like this answer, William. Are you ready? You might want to have a sip of some beverage there. Neither one. Neither one.
You got to pick one.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Crap. I don't have to pick one of those losers.
Okay.
I do not have to pick it at the ballot box, and I don't need to pick it in my heart and my mind. I don't need to pick either one of the liars.
You know what? and I have no reason but to respect that. Okay, I have to respect that. That's your choice, and I have to respect that. Now,
And,
then it goes
and
to me.
let me go one more step, William, and just give me a second here, promise. Let me go one more step. I'm going to tell you something I don't have to tell you, and I respect your wishes, and I hope you respect mine. I'm not going to vote for either one of those. I am
Okay.
going to vote. I am going to vote. I'm going to have my voice out there, but I'm not going to vote for either one. There you go.
And you know what? Uh, honestly, Mike, I have to respect that because that is your right. That is your human right. That's your constitutional right. And
My
I
American
have to.
citizen right.
I have no. I'm being honest with you. I have to respect that.
Thank
I
you.
have to. Okay. And so let me tell you what I my favorite candidate and the best candidate for me, hands down, is Kamala Harris. Okay. I'm gonna
You
tell you
still
why,
drinking that Kool-Aid, William?
and I'm gonna get some more in a minute. I'm gonna get some more too. I need a refill. I wish I
He's
had
got
someone here to
tainted.
get it.
He's got
Yes,
some
I
tainted
am. So
Kool-Aid,
Kamala,
folks.
Mike, I respect your
He's got
opinion.
that left wing Kool-Aid that he's been drinking.
All right, hey, give me some more of it, bartender. Oh,
Pour
okay.
me another.
Hey, pour me another. Okay. It's just like it's your right not to vote for either one of them. It's my right to vote for who I want to vote for, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris. And I'm gonna tell you that there are so many reasons why. Number one, contrary to what a lot of people are saying out there, she has done a lot for
Name one.
this
Name
country.
one. Name
Oh
one.
boy, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? She's done a lot. Number one,
Like,
let me finish. You stay out of this. Stay
I'm
out of
waiting.
this.
I'm waiting. I'm
Okay.
patiently waiting, William.
Okay. There are certain bills out here that's been passed, whether the right wing want to acknowledge this or not, that have made a difference. Now, I understand that inflation is a big thing. Is a
Whoa.
big thing out here. I understand that. But see, there's something that you understand. And when Trump left the office, I think the inflation was under 2%. Okay, under 2%. But you don't understand the rise in inflation doesn't happen overnight. Okay? Right now, the inflation is under 4. It had gotten almost as high as 9%. Okay? It had gotten almost as high as 9%. Now, a couple of things. Right after COVID, you had these greedy companies that started taking advantage of us because there's a thing called supply and demand, and they knew we needed supply, so they, oh yeah, add another $2 or $3 on this, another $2 or $3 on that. Okay, add this, add that, and they took advantage of the American public, and they should be locked up. They should be
Yep.
locked up. Before Trump left, you guys remember there was a shortage on toilet paper? Now, who doesn't need toilet paper out here unless you have what they call, what is it, a bodega? Okay. you go, okay,
Baby formula.
baby formula,
Oh, all of that. Yeah,
paper
I
towels.
agree with you.
Okay, absolutely. So and then on top of that, Trump, before he left the office, added now we're in a $35 trillion deficit right now.
Yep. And
Trump
climbing.
added Trump added $8 trillion to that. That causes inflation. When you have trade embargoes, when you start putting unnecessary sanctions on companies, now China, Japan, and whoever else that they put the trade embargoes on, and he claimed, "Oh, we've got all this money coming in from China, all this money coming from all these people, Iran. They're putting sanctions on. We getting all of this money in." That is a lie, because you know who pays for those? You know who pays that? The American public does. The American public. We didn't get any money from China. We didn't get any money for Iran. We didn't get any money on those people that he put sanctions on. We paid for that. That adds to the inflation. So these things
We
start
had to pay,
rising,
we had to
rising.
pay more for goods.
We have to
Once
pay
again,
more
I'm
for
agreeing
good.
with you because we
That
had to
is
pay
the
much
cause.
more for your roll of toilet paper or whatever it was. We had to pay more because of
Absolutely.
the embargo.
That's
Because
exactly.
again, back to supply and demand. Supply and demand.
Absolutely.
You're very accurate in saying that.
Absolutely. And then remember OPEC. At one time, OPEC had us by the cojones. They had us because they controlled the oil market. Russia also has something to do with that. Believe it or not, Russia is a high player in that oil market. Matter of fact, the bulk of their economy is dependent on that oil market. And so what happened was Biden got in, and now look it up, folks. We are doing more drilling here in the United States than ever. Right now, right now. Okay. Also, when he released some of those oil reserves, that started bringing the prices of oil and gas down. That was a
Pennies,
strategic move. That was a strategic
pennies,
move. Okay. The PAC
pennies.
Act.
Not dollars, pennies.
Well, it brings it down. Okay. But anyway,
Why?
do you
Why
guys
was it?
know?
Wait,
Now, now,
let
hold
me
on.
interject real quick. I promise
Okay.
I'll be really short. I'd like to go back and forth with you on this. But why was it we were energy independent when Trump was in office and after Biden got in office? And again, part of it's because of COVID. A lot of it's because of Russia and shutting down the Keystone pipeline and stuff. We were energy and oil independent all on our own. And
We
that all
were not.
changed after
We were
COVID.
not.
We
No,
were.
we were getting for. We were getting
In my
foreign.
opinion, we were. Everything
You know,
I've read says we were.
Mike. Nope. Nope. We were not. We were not. And we weren't drilling as much as we are right now. We're not drilling as much as we are. Nope.
And you believe
Absolutely
that.
not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Let me finish. No, I tell you what. Let me finish because if we go back and
Oh,
forth, I
please,
won't be able to
please.
finish. I won't be able to finish, and the show will be over. Okay. And Kamala Harris was involved in all of this. Biden even says it. She was right there with everything that he passed. Now we didn't see
So
her in
she's
front.
responsible for this cluster F also then.
No, Trump was, and I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, the PAC Act. Anybody out there has relatives that were in the military? Okay, now to me, we need to honor our military because many of them have done things that I haven't done. I've never been in the military. Okay, I have three brothers that were. Okay, I have at one he made master sergeant in the Air Force. Okay, I have a cousin that was like your dad, Mike, that was a full bird colonel. I have a nephew right now that's moving up in ranks really fast, and because of his leadership qualities, he's a captain in the army. I have a granddaughter that's serving right now. Matter of fact, the gun that she carries is bigger than she is. But I wouldn't want to mess with her at this point. I wouldn't want to mess with her if I were you.
Well,
And
good
she's
on
up
all your
with,
family, by the way.
and
Good on all of them.
she's up for sergeant. And Mike, your dad served honorably as a full bird colonel. So when it comes to our veterans, that shouldn't be a homeless veteran on the streets. Should
Nope.
not be. I don't care what you say. Should not be.
I
Because
agree.
there are the red tape. This is the thing about it. Some are aware and some aren't, Mike, of all the benefits that's available to them. And some are getting some of their a small percentage of their benefits, and some are getting larger. But see, what you have to have, we talked about this, you have to have the right people giving you the right information to maximize
Advocates.
whatever you can get.
Advocates.
An advocate, you 1000% correct on that. All right. And we are not doing right by it. Should be a way that they can streamline this thing so the veterans can get the benefits that they deserve. And Harris and Biden did that. It's called the PAC Act. They made it easier for veterans to get this. It's called the PAC Act. Look it up. Biden and Harris also involved in the CHIPS Act because we were getting our chips, okay, for our computers and so forth and so on, okay, which is a very important part. We were getting them from overseas. He's opened up plants right here, so we produce our and her our chips from here. Whether you believe it or not,
Good.
and I'm not
No,
talking
no,
about
I
you.
believe it, but
Okay,
let's
no,
see
no, no.
what happens.
I'm going to the next one.
I'm agreeing with you, William. Don't cut
Well,
me off.
good.
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm gonna need that drink. Mike agreeing with me. Okay, climate climate change. There are some climate
What a
change
farce.
deniers out
What a
here.
farce.
Oh no, it's not a fault, Mike.
It's a farce.
You're not going to tell me over the last, because I lived in California for over 30 years, and over the last what 6, 7, 10 plus or whatever it is, when Obama and Al Gore were talking about we need to do something about, we need to address this because there's a certain thing called the ozone, right? And remember, they don't even talk about it anymore. And it's something out there called the black hole. The water that thing gets, the more trouble we are in. And what happens that all the emissions that we put out into the air destroys that layer of protection. Okay, restores that layer of protection, and it's making it harder. Mike, you know the wildfires. We've had wildfires in California for a long, long time. They're not slowing down at all. You know that, and I know it. I mean, we talk about just miles and miles and tens of thousands of miles is burning up each and every year. Okay, fire people are losing their lives out there. They're working tirelessly out there. So don't tell me, nobody can tell me that there isn't climate change. There are some things that we can do about it. So whether you agree or their audience agree or not, the GOP rejects that. Okay, Biden and Harris are doing that. She's been on the front line from day one, talk about women's reproductive rights. She travels over the country in Air Force Two, talking about women's reproductive rights. I don't care what you.
Babies.
No, that's not murdering
Yeah,
babies.
that's called murdering babies.
No, Mike, you are dead wrong. You're dead
I'm
wrong.
dead right.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not murdering. You're not. You are not.
Right.
Mike, let me tell you something. Until the
Well, if
Dr.
you let me answer any of these questions, I'd be
because,
happy
Mike,
to, but you got to let me in.
You pay. No, I'm not going to let you answer. It's just my segment. Let me finish. Then you can come back and try to debunk anything I said. But let me get through this. This is all I'm saying. Because guess what? You had the opportunity to lay down yours, and I was not going to interrupt like I didn't interrupt Mike. And so let me finish what I'm about to say. Then you can come back and debunk if you have information on it, or challenge anything that I said. But let me get through this list. Okay, I'm telling you why I am voting for her, and I will increase my passion for what she's doing. Women's reproductive rights is not murder. Reproductive rights. Now, Dr. Dillon broke it down to you over a month and a half ago. Until that fetus has a brain function, and I added, if it doesn't have brain function, if it doesn't have a heartbeat, it's not a baby. It's not a baby. If it has no brain, it has no heart function, it has no feelings, it's not a baby. Now, I agree when it gets into the later in the second trimester or the third trimester, and let me debunk something like that. They got some idiot Republicans out there talking about, oh, they're killing the babies in the 8th, 9th month, and even after it's born. That is a damn lie. That's a lie. That doesn't happen in this country. That does not happen. That's a lie. Stop lying. As a matter of fact, there's been a curtailment put on that years and years, going back decades, that most doctors will not perform an abortion unless it's a highly necessary, whether there's the life of the mother or the baby, even in the 3rd trimester. They don't even go that far. Let's be honest here and stop lying to people. It is not murder. Reproductive rights mean that the woman has the right. Okay, if her life isn't, now I'm gonna tell you the problem with that. With you guys out there saying, "Oh no, she can't do that." You have women that have dead babies in their bodies, and they've got to carry those babies and try to term with a dead corpse in their bodies, which is ruining their health. And guess what? And they may not ever have a baby again. Guys, get your facts straight. Don't come to me with that garbage because I'm not going to take it. Okay? You have people walking around with dead fetuses in there, and some of you guys out there saying, well, she needs to carry it to term. What the why? You gonna carry a corpse around in your body? Mike, don't shake your head because you know it's true.
Well, you're
You
wrong,
got
and I'd like to
you're
get in here
not
if you
wrong.
let me.
You had a 10-year-old girl that was raped and was pregnant, and they said, "Oh, she shouldn't have a an abortion." Do you know, at the age of 10, her body is not ready to deliver a baby? It could have killed that little girl. Why? And then why would you want to put that trauma on her for the rest of her life? At the age of 10, she's got to carry a baby to term? Are you serious right now? Man, you guys need to get your
I'm going
heads
to agree
out of
with
your,
you on that
you
one.
guys, you need to get your heads out of your butt. They going, Biden and Harris, increasing the Affordable Care Act. You know what
Well,
some of
no,
those dudes out there.
William, I got to interrupt you here. You're going from topic to topic to topic, and
I'm
you're
telling
not
you
letting
reasons.
me.
No,
You're not
hold on.
letting me even answer
Mike,
you.
Mike. I'm telling
Can
you
we
the
go
reasons
back to
why.
the abortion thing? Because I've got answers for you that you're
Well,
not going to like, but you're
then you can
jumping
bring
to
it.
another
Then you can
subject,
bring it.
and that's not
you can
fair.
bring-
Because
Mike, you
you're
can
going
bring
to
it. It is fair, Mike.
We got 20 minutes
No,
left, and you're
Mike,
just going to go on and on and on
I'm
without
going.
letting
Yeah,
me answer
because
you.
I'm telling you, Mike.
You
When I
gotta let
said
me answer.
no, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, so I'm being silent. So
No.
free speech. No free speech.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it ain't no free
Why am I
speech.
here then?
Mike.
Why am I here if you won't let me answer?
Mike, I don't want you to answer until I finish. The
But
topic
you're going to
was,
do 20.
if-
You're going
if-
to do 20
if you-
topics, and I'm
if you
going to
paying-
forget.
if you're paying attention,
Why don't you
I
do
told
one at
you.
a time?
I told you, Mike, that I'm telling you who's the best
Can we
candidate
just do
for
the
me.
abortion thing?
No, because that's not what I'm going to stop at. Look, Mike, I said who's the best candidate and why, and I'm giving you the reasons
Just
why.
let me know
And
when
you
I'm-
get
when I can
and you
jump in
get
if
you
I
stop
can remember
interrupting me. If you stop interrupting me, then we'll have time for you to address anything you want when I finish. I set the table in
I'm
the
going
very
to
beginning.
forget everything by then.
But then that's your fault. Write it down. I told you what we're going to do. Just like I let Ann go through your reasons. Who's the best candidate and why? And I'm going through my reasons why. All you have to do is jot it down. And at the end of this, I promise you, you'll have as much time as we have left to go on and debunk or defute anything that I said. Let me go through my list and you can challenge. But if we go back and forth, I cannot go through my reasons. My thing was, I want to show the reasons why I'm voting for this woman. You have all the rights you want to debunk anything. Let me finish my list.
Go.
Okay, let me finish my list.
Go.
Hey, I'm going to go when I get ready, Mike. You're not going to rush me. Okay? The Affordable Care Act. Yes. That's why her and Biden, they want to increase that. Infrastructure. They're talking about that. The Republicans aren't. Student debt relief. I go along with that. I talked about the border bill. Increased jobs. Right now, the Democrats, Biden and Harris, they have increased jobs by 16 million. Trump lost 3 million. Okay. Lowering inflation. I mentioned that before. More drilling. Child tax credit. They don't even want to feed your children when they're hungry. Now, Mike, it's your turn. Take as much time as you want, and we can go back to abortion or anything you want to talk about.
I
The
want
floor
to go
is
to that
yours.
one. I would thank you, William. I'd like to.
The floor is yours.
I love you. You're my brother, and we will always be friends. So anybody that's listening in right now, there's nothing that's going to come between me and William, even though we disagree
Right.
on things.
Absolutely.
But
Even though Mike is wrong, Mike is wrong all the time. But go on, Mike.
This one's a really hot topic for me because
All right.
I'm a Christian person,
Mhm.
and when you talk about abortion and you bring up the very very small percentage of women that end up with a baby that's dying inside of them, absolutely, I'm fine with abortion with things like that. If it affects the mother's life, absolutely, then do what's medically necessary. If you have a 10-year-old that can't physically bear a child, that affects the mother's life. Once again, I'm not ban all abortions, period, 100%. I'm a fan of rational thought, of common sense. When we're talking about abortion, we're talking about killing babies. Don't tell me it's a zygote or a fetus or any of those things. When somebody puts their hand on your tummy and goes, Oh, when's the baby due? What do they call it? Did they call it a fetus? Did they call it a zygote? No, they called it a baby. A baby. And when we start murdering babies unnecessarily, that's decline in our civilization, in my opinion. When that egg and that sperm meet, they create a baby, not a zygote, not a fetus. They create a baby. That baby has its own DNA. The mama's got her DNA. That baby has its DNA. And whether it has brain function and is still developing, and we murder it, that's wrong. Can we say once you have a baby and you've got a 1-year-old, can we say their brain is functioning at 100%? Absolutely not. It's development. So it's stages of development. So whether you have a newborn that can't care for itself, or a 2-year-old that can't care for itself, or a 3-year-old that can't care for itself, you've got stages of development. Well, when that egg and that sperm meet, it's the beginning of development. And for you to say it doesn't deserve to live because it's not functioning at a 24-year-old level is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. So killing something, and I'm going to get a little biblical here, and I'm not a huge religious person, but I do believe in right and wrong and good and evil. And for you to say that it's okay to murder a child in the womb just out of convenience. How many abortions are out of convenience? The vast majority are them out of convenience because somebody was too lazy to use birth control or some other method. So I'm not for murdering babies. That baby has its own DNA. And for you to kill something that God created, and it's got its own DNA, that's wrong. If it's to save the mother's life, and here's the other thing that you're not going to like, William. If it's rape or incest, so we're going to punish the raper or the incestuous person. We're going to punish them by killing a baby that had nothing to do with being conceived. That bothers me a lot. How do you say, well, I'm going to get back at the rapist by killing this baby that lives inside of me, by murdering this baby? How do I say I'm going to get back at the incestuous father, whatever, that raped me or had sex with me and created this baby that actually God created, and we're going to murder that fetus, that baby, that zygote, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to do that to get back at the rapist or the incestuous one? That is wrong. God created that. It's got its own DNA, and it's in the stage of development, just like a newborn, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old. They're all in a stage of development up until, as my understanding, you're not really a full adult until you're 25 as far as your brain function. So is it just a stage of development so we can kill stuff that's not developed? Or how about you have an adult child that has a brain hemorrhage and they're on life support? They have no brain function whatsoever. Oh, so we can just kill them, right? We can murder them because they don't have enough brain function anymore. I don't get this. This does not equate. This argument does not hold water. It's murdering a baby. It's yours, William.
Okay, are you done? So I'm gonna disagree with you on a whole lot of levels here.
I'm sure
Number
you will.
one, of course, that's what I'm here for. That's my duty. That's my duty
I know.
to
I love you, William. You
contradict
know
you
that.
every chance that I get. And you and I talk about this off air, and that's what I love about this show. You got your opinion, as whack as they are, and I got mine, which makes a lot more sense. Number one, I disagree with you, but not only that, the experts that know more about this than you and I do, because your what would say vocation, your expertise is in law enforcement. Okay, you know that better than anybody I know, how law enforcement works, how it should work, what's right with it, what's wrong with it. My expertise happens to be in finance. I know about stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all this kind of stuff. When it comes to science and medicine. The only thing we know about this is what we read. And we are left up to trust the information or not, or reject it. Okay? Science and medical experts tell us it is not a baby until it has a brain function and a heartbeat. So you're not killing a baby. You talk about the woman, you put her hands on the stomach. Well, then I guess what if the woman's stomach is sticking out and you can tell, then yeah, I'm gonna go along with that because that tells me that the process, the developmental process is going on, and it's probably someone maybe into I don't know what month. Women can tell us more about this than I can, or you can. 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know. I don't know exactly when that happens. But it is not a baby when the sperm meets the egg. That is ridiculous. It is
Got
not.
its own DNA.
No, it does not, Mike. It is
Does
not
have its own DNA.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't even go there, William.
Well,
At the time of conception, it has its own DNA. Don't even try to argue that.
The DNA does not equate to being a baby, Mike. And will you stop interrupting me? I didn't interrupt you.
I'm trying not to, William.
I
But I
don't
can't let you get away with ridiculous statements like that.
Mike, I don't
It
told
has
you
its own
one time.
DNA.
I don't care. DNA does not make a baby.
Oh,
Okay,
so murder a
Mike,
baby.
I tell you what. I know you got some duct tape around the house. Try to put them slapping on your lips. Okay, Mike. DNA does not equate to being a baby.
Equates
It
to
is
being a
not.
human being.
It does not.
Equates
Okay,
to
I'm
being a human being.
gonna take it a step further. When you go to a crime scene, and what they do now with science the way it is, they collect DNA. Is that a baby they're collecting? They are collecting? No, they're collecting DNA.
Of a
Okay.
human being.
Yeah, but guess what?
Of a living, breathing human being.
No. They are collecting that from a human being, but it's not a human being. DNA
It's
is
like
not
a
human.
fingerprint. A
Mike,
fingerprint isn't a human being.
Okay, well, when you took
It's
fingerprints, when did that?
evidence.
Hey, Mike,
It's evidence.
when did that evidence? When did that evidence grow into be a human being? Never. It doesn't happen. Let me finish.
And a fingerprint wouldn't either.
Mike. Fingerprints don't
William.
equate. Mike, Mike. Let me finish. It does not equate to being a human being. DNA, if it does not have a brain function, if it doesn't have a heartbeat, that means it has no feelings. Okay, it has to develop. And the most ridiculous thing that I ever heard you say, Mike, when the sperm meets the egg, that's a baby. That is a lie. That is not true at all, Mike. Where do you get that garbage
My
from?
opinion.
That's your opinion, Mike. That's your opinion. We go.
Well, there's a lot of
that's your
scientists
opinion.
and doctors
We
that
go.
do agree
Mike.
with me.
Mike, we go on facts here. We go on. I don't care who agrees with you. I don't agree with you. Okay, I don't care.
So
Dr.
all of your scientists are right and all of my scientists are wrong. Is that how
Yeah,
this works?
pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want
Yeah, well,
Level
you clarified that.
playing field.
Because I don't know where you get these quack scientists from, Mike. Are you meeting these
I
guys?
don't know where you get your quack
Are you
scientists
meeting these guys at the local bar, the Boomerang Room?
Bobby's
Are you meeting them at the Boom Room? These are probably drunk scientists that lost their jobs. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike. Guess what, bro? Man, yeah, it's a baby. Oh boy, when that sperm meets that egg, it's all over. No. It is not. That is crazy. If it doesn't have a heartbeat, if it doesn't have brain function, it is not a baby. I'll go along with you. When it gets to heartbeat, when it gets to brain function, now we got so then we can come back and talk. Okay. Number 2, God did not direct that rapist or that person who committed incest to rape that woman. God didn't create that. God allows us. God allows us to do things. God has given us the ability to make choices. That guy decided to rape that woman. Okay? He decided to rape that woman. God didn't do that. God did not do that. Okay? And she got raped and she found that she was pregnant. She has every right to abort that. Every right to abort that. Now, I'm not saying that she has a right to do it in the 3rd trimester or even late in the 2nd trimester. I'm not saying that. But God, don't leave God out of this. God has given us the power of
Oh,
choice.
what? What? Do
No.
you realize what you just said?
I
You
know
got out of
exactly
this?
what I said because
Are
I'm gonna
you-
tell you something. I know. Let me tell you why. Because man has done so many horrible things out here.
Good and
Okay.
evil.
No, man has done so many horrible things out here,
Evil.
and God didn't let that. He allowed those things to happen because He gave us the power of choice. Because see, I wrestled with this for a long time. I said, God, you're there. Why do you let those children get shot? Why do you allow this to happen? Why do you allow so many bad things? And the revelation I got is that God gives us the power to make decisions. And man makes some stupid ass decisions sometimes. We do nefarious things that antithetical to the word of God, antithetical to God itself. So God didn't do that. He allows us to use our brains, hopefully effectively, but sometimes, as dumb as man is overall, we can send a man to the moon, but we cannot figure out how to get along. Okay, God doesn't do that. He gives us the ability to make choices, and it's our fault because we make dumb choices. That's what happens. So God didn't create that out of
Yeah,
convenience.
but God,
Now,
God created
no,
that
no,
baby
no,
in the
no.
womb.
No, He did not.
God created that.
No,
baby.
He did not.
The hell?
No, He did not.
The hell?
He gave the man and the woman.
God is
No, He did
responsible
not.
for all
He gave.
life. God
No,
is responsible for all life on this earth.
well, get
Deny
Mike.
that.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. He did not
You're not
allow.
listening to what I'm
He did
saying.
not allow that guy to come in and rape that woman. He did not allow
not.
that. For you to say what you're saying and say, well, yeah, God
You have
allowed
to
that.
separate the two, William. You got to
No,
separate
Mike,
the two.
not Mike,
The
Mike, Mike, Mike.
rapist or the
All I'm
incestuous
saying,
one,
no, you cannot separate
did
the-
evil.
No.
But the conception of that baby is not evil. The conception of that baby is something created in God's. What are we? What we're all
No,
created
no.
in God's.
You
What
know
is
what? He had God's image.
We're all
Yeah,
created in
but
God's
guess what?
image.
We had to.
Even that little.
He gave us
baby,
the opportunity,
that
Mike.
conception.
He gave us the choices. He gave us the ability. He gave that rapist,
You have to separate that,
as
William.
twisted and as warped as that rapist's mind is. He allowed that rapist to make that horrible, horrible decision. And you're
That
going to blame
rapist
the
did it
woman,
on their
and
own.
you're going to say this woman should keep this rapist baby.
She should. Let me retort. Should she kill the baby that had nothing to do with the rape or incest?
It depends on whether it's a baby or not. And if before and
It's a
if
baby
it's
at
not
conception.
if it's not
baby at conception, you're not.
no,
going
it
to
is not.
find
See, that's where you are
baby
dead
at
wrong, Mike.
It has its own DNA.
Every scientist in the world would disagree with you. You can have your own opinion, Mike,
No, you're
but
wrong.
you're wrong. You're wrong,
Well,
Mike.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not. Mike, I can prove mine. You cannot prove yours.
For every scientist you can come up with, I can come up with the two that say you're wrong.
I guarantee you, then they're quack. They're quack scientists. Because science says,
So
and it makes
if
sense
they don't
to me.
agree with William, they're cracks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because William is a smart dude. All right, and you guys get used to it. Get used to it. So my point is, Mike, if you don't have brain function, if you don't have a heartbeat, you're not a human being. Human beings have
if you have an adult child,
human beings,
if you have
human
an
beings,
adult
and
child, if you have
human
an
beings-
adult child on, if you have an adult child on life support that has no brain function, is it okay to murder them?
No, it's you have a child that's
Answer
already
the question.
born, that's on
Answer
life.
the question.
No,
Answer the question.
no. That's two different. That's two different things we're dealing with.
Why? Why is it
Because
different?
we're talking about a child.
You're talking about brain function. Why is it different?
Because guess what? Because they were born with brain function. They were born with brain
And that makes
function.
it different when you have an
It
adult
does make
child that's on
it
life
does
support?
make it different. It does make it different.
William.
Because it does, Mike. That's a
William.
huge difference.
You're
Mike, that's a
killing me
huge
over
difference.
here.
Mike, that's a
No, there's
huge
not.
difference.
You've got a body
It
with no
is.
brain function. You have a body with no brain function versus a brand new baby that's just been conceived. It's a body with no brain function.
Well,
What's
you know
the
what?
difference between that and an adult child that's
Well,
on
guess
life
what?
support?
And
with no
then
brain
how come-
function?
and
There's
how
no
come-
difference, William.
There's a big difference, Mike. Because
No.
I'm telling you what, why is that family allowed to take that person off life support if they and the doctor deem so and they are not charged with murder? Why is that, Mike?
quality of life.
Ah,
Quality
okay,
of
that's
life.
one thing. But before that child, when that sperm hits the egg, I'm gonna say it to you again, Mike. Okay, it is not a baby when the sperm
Yes, it
hits
is.
the egg.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yep.
It is, Mike. That's your opinion, and you have to be wrong
Okay.
again. I'm sorry you so wrong again, my brother. I mean, it's not your. And guess what? And folks, I think Mike is just being argumentative because Mike is a very smart dude.
No,
Well, guess what?
I'm not being argumentative. I'm telling you what I see to be the facts.
Well, again, no, you don't have
When
facts.
you have,
Mike,
when you,
that's your
okay,
opinion. Mike, you going by
okay,
your
it's
opinion.
my. Oh
And
no,
you
it's my
denying
opinion.
facts.
I'll
You are
give you my
denying
opinion.
science,
But
Mike.
but when you have an adult child that's on life support with
That's
no
different,
brain
Mike.
function,
We're not talking
hang
about
on,
that.
hold on, let me finish my thought. If you have an adult child that's on life support with no brain function that will never ever recover from it, and they pull the plug, that's one thing. Now let me go back to the other one. If you have a fetus, if you have a baby that's growing in the womb that is going to become a grown human being, that's different versus somebody that will never ever think again. And so there's a difference between that baby that's growing in the womb and somebody that's on life support with a brain that's dead.
Okay.
Those are two different things. The fetus, the baby in the womb, is not brain dead. It's going to become a human being. And for you to take and across the board just go, oh well, out of convenience,
No,
because of this,
it's not
that, and the other thing.
convenient for that woman to
We're
be
just
raped.
gonna murder the baby
No,
just because,
it's
it's
not
not convenient for me to have a child.
convenient. It's not convenient, Mike. We're talking about apples and oranges. Apples
Right now.
and oranges.
Most
Because
abortions
again,
are done out of
no,
convenience.
hold on,
Most
hold on.
abortions are done out of convenience, and you damn
No,
well
you
know
don't know that. How you going to
I
say that? You
do.
have no facts in front of you. That's your opinion, Mike.
You go research it.
No, you research it.
You well, I will.
You know what? I don't have to. You do it. You brought this ridiculous thing up.
There's
You
what,
research it.
300,000 abortions,
I'm not.
300,000 abortions that occur in the United States every year, and you're going to
They
tell
are
me
not all out
of
of
them,
convenience,
all of
Mike.
them were because of the baby that was dying in the womb? No, that's an
No,
extremely
I didn't
small
say that
percentage.
either.
The
No,
vast majority were viable children, viable
no.
babies.
How do
And
you know, Mike?
they aborted them. They aborted them out of convenience. This
No,
whole
Mike, you
argument
can't say that.
about
Mike, you cannot
this whole
say that
argument about
because you.
rape and
Mike,
incest, and the
Mike.
argument about dead babies in the womb, that's an extremely small percentage, and you know
You don't know
the
what
vast
it is, Mike.
majority are done out of convenience.
Mike, you are talking out of your butt. You are talking out of your butt. You're wrong. You
Didn't
don't
really
know
do
this. You don't know that.
Look at the
Because
stats,
see,
William.
I mean, you have all of us got.
Independently look at the stats.
Everybody has an opinion, just like we got a butt. Okay, everybody has an opinion, Mike. But until you come to me with factual evidence, I'm not buying it. I am not buying it.
Do your
Well,
own research. If you don't believe me, do
well,
your
no,
own research. How many abortions
you know
are
what?
done out of convenience?
No,
Look,
you do it.
how many
You do it.
abortions under convenience?
You know what? I got to prepare for another show. I don't have time. You do the research and bring it back to me. Okay. So
I'm not going to do
anyway,
your homework for you.
no, that's your homework. You brought it up.
No,
I didn't.
because if I send you those stats, you're going to say that I pulled that from some right-wing conspiracy nut job, and you're not going to believe the statistics.
You don't know what
I
I'm going to
send
say either.
I want you to do your own research, come up with your own statistics.
Hey, Mike.
So you can't blame me of going to some right-wing bizarre.
Yeah,
site.
you just admitted to the world.
Do your
That's
own.
where you get your. That's where you get your.
No, that's what
misguided
you accuse
information
me
from.
of. That's what you
get
accuse me
your.
of.
Well, guess what?
So
That's
get-
because that's where you.
so get
that's where you
yours.
get your misguided. That's, folks, that's where-
You
yeah,
go back
that's
and
what
look it up
Mike get
yourself.
his misguided
You tell me
information
how I'm
from.
wrong. Prove me wrong.
Well, no,
Prove me wrong.
you prove yourself right because I have other things to do. You brought it up
because you're claiming
no.
claim it's right wing.
No, that's not the way we. That's not the way we do it on this show.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you will come up, no, it's not. If you gonna come up with a statement or an opinion, back
You
it
won't
up.
believe it. No, you
well,
won't believe it because it
if it's
came from me.
credible, if it comes from Fox, I
Oh,
won't.
if it's credible under William. then it
Oh,
counts.
yes, right. That's right. That's exactly right. Because if it comes from Fox or if it comes from Newsmax, it comes from one of those far right wing groups. Nope, ain't gonna believe it. Come
So
to me,
you do
somebody
your own
like
fact check on it.
no,
I'm
no,
not doing your homework. I'm not doing your homework for you.
Give me something from Politico. No, it's not my homework. I don't care. I don't care. You brought it up. You prove it. Like when I bring
I
up
just
something,
did.
and no, you
I
did
just
not
did.
prove it.
I just
No,
did.
No, you didn't. Mike, we out of time.
Well, good, because I'm through with you.
I'm through with you. Folks, I hope you can feel the love in the air. Okay. Oh, and